Hello and warm welcome to the Cylinder Turf Club for our barrier trials this Tuesday the 23rd of September. And we have the 5 trials taking place, with the first one off in about 10 minutes time, and the runners and riders for trial 1 will be up on the screen shortly. Starting off with Behind Player, who will be ridden by R. Shafiq. Pacific Sky will be ridden by S. Behouden. Easy on Me, Z. Karil. Good Start will be ridden by S. Uzair. Bankers Dojo will be ridden by R. Nutman. And Cavalry will be ridden by J. Kamarudin. And those are the runners and riders for trial 1, as they'll be making their way down to the start shortly. And we'll be working on a yielding track. And trials 1, 2 and 3 will be on track 2, with trials 4 and 5 on the sand track. And the first runner's moved into line already. Behind Player and R. Shafiq. So we have a field of 6 runners for the first trial. Pacific Sky, the next one, who is carded to race this weekend. And he'll be trialling with the blink capacifiers on this morning. Next run its load will be Easy on Me. Half the field loaded away. Good start. The next one moves in. Now for the turn of Banker's Dowager. And Cavalry, the last one. Cavalry steps forward, 1,000 metres ahead of them. Trial 1 for the morning, flags up, sets and ready, and they're off and trialling from the 1,000 metre mark. Starters caught them to a level beginning. Towards the inside, behind player, broke out bold, Pacific Sky, Easy on Me, and pushing forward Banker's Dowager from a wide draw to be run up there on speed. 4 lanes back to Pacific Sky, racing just ahead of Good Start, is at the back end of the field. Close and compact field, about 5 lanes separate them as they make their way past the 600 metre mark and up in front. It's Banker's Dowager who's picked up the lead from Pacific Sky. Battle on the outside, Easy on Me. Then a breakaway of 2 lengths to behind player, racing ahead of Good Start. And Cavalry's the bat marker, racing 5 lengths off the leaders at the top of the straight. 350 metres left to travel. Pacific Sky pulls on the pressure from Banker's Dowager. In behind that is Easy on Me. He's looking for a way through. Starts to hang towards the inside. Carrell keeping his balance on him. 3 lengths further back to Cavalry. Then came behind players. Are into the final 100 metres. They spread across the track. Deep route. Banker's Dowager with Cavalry starting to flash home late up on the outside, and Cavalry is just going to pick them off in the closing stages. Followed in behind that, gets very close between Pacific Sky and Banker's Dowager. Easy on Me was battle on the inside, who hung terribly towards the inside. Behind player, and then came Good Start. So it will be Cavalry that wins the first trial of the morning. He had a respiratory distress in his last race and went for a 2-week embargo and bounces back here in this trial with a very comfortable win. Obviously the class horse in this field, and he quickens up best of all up on the outside of runners. It gets close for second and third, and we'll wait for the slow-mo replay just to confirm those minor placings as they hit the line. I think it will go the way of Pacific Sky on the inside for second. As you can see, Cavalry does get his head down up on the outside with the angle certainly favouring him. So it will be Cavalry ahead of Pacific Sky. Third place went the way of Banker's Dowager in between those runners. And then came Easy on Me back and forth. Followed by Behind Player. And then came Good Start. So just to repeat those numbers, Cavalry the winner, followed by Pacific Sky. Banker's Dowager is back in third. Fourth place went the way of Easy on Me. In fifth was Behind Player. And Good Start was the last one to cross the line. And that completes trial 1 for the morning. And up next we'll have the runners and riders for trial 2, which should commence in approximately 10 minutes time. Up next is Trial 2. Start off with Bankers 2-7 will be ridden by G. Fahan. Emperor Ridge, Z. Carril. Eastern Barrett will be ridden by S. Behouden. 052, S. Shazman. The Wild Goal will be ridden by J. Kamarudan. And Happiness Day will be ridden by Andre de Silva. 6 runners, 1,000 meters ahead of them, and they'll be making their way down to the start shortly. Runners moving in for the second trial of the morning. Bankers 2-7 moves into line. Once again, a field of 6 runners. Emperor Ridge will be the next one. 2 runners here. Bankers 2-7 and the Wild Goal. That's carded to race on Sunday. The Wild Goal returning after a 2-week embargo after respiratory distress was picked up. As they're currently working on Emperor Ridge, who moves into line. They're currently working on Eastern Barracks. Eastern Barracks moves in. The Wild Goal. And we're left with 2 to load. 052. Zero 5-2 moves in. Happiness Day, the last one. Happiness Day moves in. Set and ready, 1,000 meters. Flags up. And away and trialing from the 1,000 meter mark. Slow into stride was Eastern Barracks as well as 052. Didn't get the best of breaks early on. Towards the inside, Bankers 2-7 broke out well with Emperor Ridge showing pace as the Wild Goal as well. Eastern Barracks after the slow start is going to try and recover along the inside. All the while 052 goes 3 wide around the turn, and Happiness Day is the back marker. About 6 lanes cover the field as they go past the 600 meter mark, and up in front Bankers 2-7 with a comfortable lead, goes about 3 to 4 lanes clear now, continues to extend the margins up in front. From Eastern Barracks back in second, then further back in the field we drop back to the Wild Goal, Emperor Ridge 052 and Happiness Day's deepest out on the track and racing. Probably about 10 lengths off the leaders. Bankers 2-7 has a soft and comfortable lead up in front. So shot 4 lanes clear. Battle on the inside and trying to work back into his Eastern Barracks. He's the only danger to Bankers 2-7, who's starting to run on weary legs. But he's done enough here. He got nice fractions up in front. And he'll win by about 2.5 lengths from Eastern Barracks back in second. Third place, the Wild Goal, Happiness Day 052. And unfortunately, Emperor Ridge is a distant last and has just crossed the line. So Bankers 2-7 from the Johnny Lim stable will win trial 2 under G for Han. Got some soft sectionals up in front and led them all the way and will win uncontested at the end. Wins by just over 2 lengths in the closing stages. Eastern Barracks was trying to make a trial out of it back in second, but Bankers 2-7 had the trial sewn up at the top of the straights and shot clear and wasn't for the catching. Second place Eastern Barracks, followed by the Wild Goal, who was back in third, and he was about 5 lengths behind the second horse, so it was quite a spread out trial. As we drop back to Happiness Day back in fourth, then came 052 and Emperor Ridge was a distant last. So just to complete the numbers and the results, Bankers 2-7 the winner, followed by Eastern Barracks in second. Third place, the Wild Goal. In fourth was Happiness Day. Fifth, 052, and Emperor Ridge was the last one. That completes trial 2. Up next is trial 3. This is the last of our trials on track 2 before we head across to the sand track for trials 4 and 5. Runners and riders for Trial 3, Major Valor, will be ridden by KC1, Shadow Dancer Esper Howden, Ebullient J. Camarudin, Major Ace R. Newtman. The unnamed runner will be ridden by J. Daniel, and Red Maned will be ridden by M. Lukeman. Those are the runners and riders for Trial 3, and they'll be making their way down to the start shortly. The runner's been called into line. Shadow Dancer will be the first one under SEP. Just a little bit reluctant at first. This is the last of our trials on track 2 before we head across to the sand track for trials 4 and 5. Both of them will be over 1,000 meters as well. Shadow Dancer is really proving to be quite stubborn down at the start. Already has the blindfold on. So currently working on Shadow Dancer, who's really doesn't want to move into anywhere close to the proximity of the starting stalls at this moment, and is backed all the way away from the stalls. So still waiting on Shadow Dancer, who's had the blindfold removed. He is having his official race trial this morning, and he hasn't been the best behaved so far, as he is now starting to get a little bit closer to the stalls. Shadow Dancer almost moved in and almost took her seats at the same time. Meanwhile, the rest of the runners are still milling about down at the start, and Major Valor from the David Clark stable trialing with the blinkers on today. That is carded to race on Sunday, as the team is still at work with Shadow Dancer, who has now turned his quarters to the side of the stalls. So they tried in with Shadow Dancer. Almost in. And is now safely in the stalls. So Shadow Dancer has eventually moved into line, and they'll begin the process with the rest of the field. Next one to load will be Major Valor. Moves in. Ebullient will be the next one. Ebullient also a little bit fractious behind the stalls. Moves in. And we have 3 runners remaining, all of red maned. Major Ace, who will be the next one, and then also the unnamed runner from the Simon Dunderdale stable, and J. Daniel aboard. He'll be having a barrier practice this morning. So Major Ace has moved into line. Next 2 to load. Unnamed runner. Moves in. And red maned the last one. Set and ready, flags up. And they're off and trialing from the 1,000 meter mark. Major Valor dwelt when the starter said go, lost about 4 or 5 lengths at the start. Ebullient broke out well. Right there's Major Ace, and deepest out is Red Mane. They made her a line of 3. Racing just in behind the leading trio is Shadow Dancer, who's looking to improve in between runners. Then 3 lengths back to the unnamed runner under J. Daniel, and the bat marker for now. And long way outpaces Major Valor. That's probably about 7 lengths off the leaders as they make the way past the 500 meter mark. Up in front, Shadow Dancer now takes over proceedings. From battle on the inside, Ebullient. Then deeper out on the track, you've got Red Mane, 4 lengths back and running to Major Ace, followed by the unnamed runner. And last of all is Major Valor. It's about a dozen lengths that cover the field as they're into the final 250 meters. Shadow Dancer took a while to get into the starting stalls. He jumped while he's up there, but now feels the challenge up on the outside as Red Mane looms large, and these 2 left to fight it out. And Red Mane's going the better though. Red Mane extends his stride into the closing stages and will win going away from the rest of the field. Second place Shadow Dancer, despite all the starting stalls theatrics. Then came the unnamed runner, followed further back in the field to Ebullient. Then came Major Ace, and Major Valor was the last one. So Red Maned under M. Lutman for the Richard Lim stable will win going away in trial 3. He's reported lame near 4 and went for a weak embargo, and has bounced back in fine fiddle and wins by about 2.5 lengths in the closing stages from Shadow Dancer. Then came the unnamed runner, I believe it was, back in 3rd along the inside under J. Daniel. In behind that was Ebullient, I believe, who's back in 4th, followed by Major Ace in 5th, and Major Valor was last across the line after being slow into stride. So that completes trial 3. Red Maned, the winner from Shadow Dancer. Then came the unnamed runner under J. Daniel back in 3rd. Ebullient was back in 4th. Major Ace in 5th. And Major Valor was back in 6th. So we move across to trial 4 for the final 2 trials of the morning, which will be completed on the sand track over 1,000 meters. And the runners and riders will be up on screen shortly. Runners and riders for trial 4, just a field of 4. Top show, written by S. Uzair, Wind of Dubai, M. Lutman, Major Titan, Andre de Silva, and Italian Revolution will be written by S. Bahadin. Field of 4 over 1,000 meters on the sand track, and they'll be making their way down to the start shortly. Runners moving into line for the penultimate trial of the morning. And Top Show was the first one to move in. Wind of Dubai is next. 3 of the 4 runners in this trial will be running this weekend. Top Show, Mater Titan and Italian Revolution. So they're currently working on Mater Titan. Mater Titan steps in. And Italian Revolution will be the last. Italian Revolution moves into line, 1 or 2 just a little bit fractious, but we're set and ready now, 1,000 meters on the sand track. Gates spring back and they are off and trialing from the 1,000 meter mark. If anything, Mater Titan was maybe a length slow into stride. Italian Revolution from the widest draw broke out well, back along the inside. Top Show showing pace as well. In Wind of Dubai is in between those, and deepest out is Mater Titan, who's going to take the long route home, and is extremely wide on the track as they make the way into the turn now, with just on 800 meters left to travel. And Italian Revolution picks up the lead from Top Show, 2 lengths back to Wind of Dubai, and Mater Titan is almost hard up on the outside rails during an extremely long route here as they're into the final 400 meters, and up in front Italian Revolution, the leader from Top Show, back in second. Then in behind that, Wind of Dubai and Mater Titan. This might be a 1,200 meter trial for him. That's how wide he's raced throughout as they're into the final 250 meters, and up in front Italian Revolution from Top Show, back along the inside. Wind of Dubai is back in the third, and Mater Titan a long way back as they're into the final 150 meters. Italian Revolution still doing the better of Top Show into the final 50 meters or so, and Italian Revolution bounces back here and will win by about a length and a half to Top Show. Wind of Dubai and Mater Titan, who was wide throughout, will come home last of all. So Italian Revolution will win for the Charles Latch table, ridden by Esperhalden, and bounces back to winning form in the trials here, and he wins by just over a length or so, and beats home Top Show, who is back in second. Wind of Dubai third, and a very interesting trial from Mater Titan, who raced wide down the back straight and into the turn, and he was pretty much hard up on the outside rail for the majority of the trial. And he'll come home last of all, so he's got a good blowout heading into the weekend. As 3 of these 4 runners will be racing on Sunday, including the winner with Italian Revolution and Top Show. Wind of Dubai, who was back in the third, and Mater Titan was the last one. Up next is Trial 5, and that's off in 10 minutes time, and the runners and riders will be up on the screen next. Runners and riders for the final trial. Just the field of 4,000 Mile Eye will be ridden by J. Kamarudin, Pacific Atlantic, Etsi Lian, Pacific Bravo, Esuzea, and Running Spirit will be ridden by Esperhalden. Those are the 4 runners for trial 5, and they'll be making their way down to the start shortly for the 5th and final trial of the morning. Runners moving into line for the fifth and final trial of the morning, 1000 Mile Eye, the first one. Once again, we have 3 runners here that will be racing on Sunday, all of Pacific Atlantic, Pacific Bravo and Running Spirit. As Pacific Atlantic has moved into line, Pacific Bravo the next one, and Running Spirit will complete the field. Pacific Bravo moves in, Running Spirit the last one. 1000 meters, sets and ready, flags up, final trial for the morning. And they're off and trialing in the last trial. And the starters caught them to a level beginning. 1000 Mile Eye towards the inside broke out well with Pacific Atlantic. They're the leading pair. Running Spirit deeper out on the track is trying to get up into the leading group as well. And Pacific Bravo is just in behind that last of all, but only racing a length and a half off the leaders as they make their way towards the end of the bat straight now. 800 meters left to travel. Up in front, Pacific Atlantic pushes forward to lead the field. From 1000 Mile Eye, bat in second. Deep route Running Spirit is 3 wide, and in between those, Pacific Bravo, the bat marker, 2 lengths off the leader. As they approach the top of the straight now, 400 meters left to travel. Pacific Atlantic in front from 1000 Mile Eye. Pacific Bravo is in behind those. And Running Spirit is deepest out on the track with 6 or 7 lengths to make up as the field starts to spread out as they're into the final 200 meters. And up in front, Pacific Atlantic, the narrow leader from 1000 Mile Eye, who's now starting to cut back the deficit, battle on the inside. These two pull lengths clear of the rest of the field. Pacific Atlantic the outside, 1000 Mile Eye the inside, but Pacific Atlantic will go all the way up in front, wins by 3/4 of a length to 1000 Mile Eye, Running Spirit. And then came Pacific Bravo, who was last of all. So Pacific Atlantic will go all the way up in front under Etsy Lian for the David Cox stable. Wins the 5th and final trial for the morning. Beats home 1000 Mile Eye. And these two are pretty much in a trial of their own. And were about 8 lengths, maybe 9 or 10 lengths even, clear of the 3rd placed horse, which was Running Spirit. And Pacific Bravo was back in 4th and completes the field. Pacific Atlantic the winner from 1000 Mile Eye, Running Spirit and Pacific Bravo in that order to complete the barrier trials for this morning as we head across to racing taking place this weekend on Sunday the 28th of September, and we'll be looking forward to a couple of trophy races on the program and some nice sorts stepping out this weekend. Until then, hope you have a great week ahead, and we'll hope to see you back at the races on this Sunday for what looks to be a great day of racing ahead at the Selindor Turf Club.